Well, I started out off good, didn't I? Okay, I'm doing probably take two things on this, but I'm going to be the mystery of the whore of Babylon. Just devoting 2 chapters of Revelation to the whore of Babylon signifies she's pretty important somewhere along the line here to God. Okay, it's a spiritual religious system that has been present in every empire that has occurred on our present earth. This religious system is set against everything that is of God. In our time, this system is seen as apostate Christendom in all systems and sects which are anti-Christian and anti-Israel. Not only is it anti-Christian, but it also has political and economic aspects integrated within it. Most churches tends to agree with this, but there's also a commercial side of this whore, which leads one to believe that it's not only a spiritual religious system, but also a physical entity. The whore has a diversity of merchandise and services that are sold to all nations and kingdoms of the world. I've heard many Christian leaders say that they believe the Catholic Church is the whore of Babylon. Oh yeah, right. If that were the case, when did the Catholic Church become an active in selling commodities to all nations in the world? They haven't. I've even heard them say Statue of Liberty is the great whore because she represents the goddess Isis. How could a statue be in many nations? Okay, let's unravel this mystery. Revelation 17:1. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. Okay, John's about to see the judgment that is to come upon the whore. Sitteth upon many waters is interpreted as many nations or peoples. The whore is somehow present in many nations. Since she's in many nations, the whore spoken of here cannot be an individual or one single entity. Revelation 17:2. With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. The whore's dominant position over the nations is spiritual as well as financial. She sways the people of the world by enticing them with many goods and services she provides, which leads them into idolatry. Idolatry is another word, is part of the fornication, the meaning of fornication. Mentioning the word kings shows us that the whore has great influence over the leaders of nations. Revelation 17:3. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. The meaning of her riding the scarlet beast, replete with the names of blasphemy and having 7 heads and 10 horns, is that she is controlling and subjugating the political power of at least 17 nations. This revived Roman Empire at this time is under the absolute sway of the entity that sells merchandise and represents apostate Christendom. The scarlet color indicates the glory and splendor of the political power, but at this time it cannot hinder the suppressive control of the religious and financial leaders. The whore walks hand in hand with the Antichrist for a time, raising him to power. The first beast, which is the Antichrist, is designated as the leader of anti-Christian power. He is the leader of the one world government soon to come on the scene. The second beast is the false prophet, which perpetuates the anti-Christian propaganda. He is the representative of the whore. He also helps the first beast come to power. Revelation 17:4. And the woman is arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. This indicates that the religious entity's wealth, luxury, and extravagance is like that of a harlot. The golden cup represents the many enticements that sway the people of the world. This entity is extremely wealthy and uses its wealth to control leaders of many nations. Revelation 17:5. And upon her forehead was the name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. Roman harlots wore a label with their names written on it. The label was worn on their foreheads so there would be no mistake of their identity. There is a mystery concerning the name of the whore. It is a disclosed secret that is meant for our time. Although she represents godlessness and uses idolatrous practices throughout the world, her name has a significant meaning that is yet a mystery. The name of the whore is not known as of now, but she is an entity that reflects apostate Christendom, has great financial wealth and power, and sells merchandise to all parts of the world, which you will see as we progress. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of martyrs of Jesus. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. Until now, the whore had been guilty of atrocities in the moral and spiritual realm, but now the blood of the saints and martyrs for the sake of Christ has now stained her hands. She will play a major role in the persecution and slaying of true believers in the last days. She will be a part of the apostate, politically correct church. She will cause great persecution of churches today and true Christians. Revelation 17:7. And the angel said unto me, Wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman, and of the beast that carrieth her, which hath the 7 heads and 10 horns. The mystery of the whore is about to be revealed. Revelation 17:8. The beast that thou sawest was, and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit, and go into perdition. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was, and is not, and yet is. Confusing, huh? The beast in this passage is the Roman Empire. There is historical evidence that the Roman Empire existed. Then it disappeared for a long period of time. And its motivation is reappearing. And its reappearing is suggested by it will ascend out of or come from the bottomless pit. This is obviously a satanic revival of the revived Roman Empire. The Roman Empire existed, it disappeared, and is now resurrected and finally ends up in the lake of fire. Revelation 17:9-11. And here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth. It's 7 nations. And there are 7 kings. 5 are fallen, 1 is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7 and going into perdition. Say what? The 7 mountains talking about here are 7 world-dominating empires. Of these 7 dominating empires, there are 7 kings. 5 have already fallen. Though these are the Egyptian, Assyrian, Babylonian, Persian, and Greek empires. The Roman Empire is the sixth world-dominated empire, or the one that is, because this was written at the time of the Romans were in power. The seventh empire will begin with a great leader, which is the seventh king. He will be replaced by the Antichrist. The Antichrist will become the eighth king, ruling the seventh empire. He will end up in the lake of fire. So the revived Roman Empire is the last empire, because the Antichrist is going to be dictator of the whole world. The whore was present in each of the fallen empires, and will also be present in the one to come. Catholicism did not exist then, so that leaves them out. For her to be present in each empire shows us that she is spiritual in nature. There are spirits at work here that cause moral corruptness and godlessness in each and every empire. The whore is full of deception, greed, immorality, and thrives on idolatry. She also has great wealth and power. These are the things that caused the fall of each of the previous six empires. She is basically a secret government, hiding behind the scene and controlling other nations using her wealth and political influence. Revelation 7, 12, and 13. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. The 10 horns are 10 leaders of 10 nations that are aligned with Antichrist. These 10 leaders are on the same page as the Antichrist. They're all of one mind. The armies of these 10 nations are at the disposal of the Antichrist when he comes to power. And he'll be the 8th major leader ruling the 7th empire. Revelation 17:15. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes of nations and tongues. The whore has great influence over every nation in the world. Remember that there are demonic spirits at work here. The whore influences anti-Christian and anti-Israel, infects the souls of every Gentile nation on earth. The people of earth will absolutely hate true Christians, as well as the nation of Israel, as we know it today. It's really actually Judah. This spiritual war has already begun. Israel and the Christian nations, especially the United States, are the target of worldwide hate already. The United States is the great Satan, and Israel is the little Satan, as seen by the eyes of many nations today. Revelation 17:16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Oh, what? Okay. The 10 leaders that are aligned with the Antichrist, that the whore helped bring to power, hate the whore and what she stands for. The time will come when these 10 kings that the whore brought up is going to kill her. Even though the whore is spiritual in nature, there has to be some kind of physical feature for her to be burned with fire. The Antichrist, the 10 leaders, and the whore are of one mind and walk hand in hand for a short time. Why would the 10 leaders want to destroy the whore that brought them to power? Revelation 17:17. For God hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of God shall be fulfilled. Just as God hardened the heart of Pharaoh in Egypt, he will also harden the hearts of these 10 leaders against the whore. God uses these 10 leaders to fulfill God's perfect plan. The Antichrist will use the armies of the 10 nations to destroy the very entity that brought him to power in the first place. He will then be sole dictator of the world and will have to answer to no one. Revelation 17:18. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. Okay, how can a city reign over the sovereignty of other nations? The whore is not a literal city. It is the spirit behind her that influences and rules over the hearts of the other nations and people. Spirits of greed, power, hate, jealousy, and idolatry rule over the hearts of a multitude of people in this world. The whore, whoever she may be, basically rules the nations, using each nation's leaders as mere puppets. Revelation 18:2-3. And he cried mightily and with a strong voice, saying, Babylon great is fallen, is become the habitation of devils, in hold of every foul spirit, in a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. Okay, every nation in the world has had some dealings with the whore of some sort. They either become one mind spiritually, or they have been enticed by her many delicacies. Fornication in this text is not meant as in a sexual nature. The merchants being made rich from her delicacies shows that what is meant here is that other nations have purchased the merchandise of this spiritually corrupt whore. It has to do with greed and power. The whore is two-faceted. On one side, she spiritually corrupts kings and people. On the other side, she sells her wares to all nations, which causes greed and idolatry. The spirit behind her has been present in every empire since the beginning, and she is a spiritual religious system that corrupts spiritually, and also a physical entity that sells merchandise to all nations. You confused yet? I'm going to stop here and get this uploaded and all. Then I'll start back where I left off here. And I'll come back, and go to the bottom of it here and tell you, are you confused yet? And I'll start on the second part. But you all have a blessed day, and I'll get this uploaded and start on the second part of this. God bless all of you.